Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll talk to you again at halftime, but for the call of this one, let's send it out to our EA Sports broadcast team. It's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. Intensity level will be off the charts.
First down, Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now Breeze throwing on second down. He's going to go for, and that's caught inside the 35. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. It's a big play there for the Saints. 44 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. The starters defensively now for the Falcons. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
They held them to just 7 points, and in reviewing the game tape, I'm wondering how they got the 7. I actually wrote a note to myself. How did they even score? The way they were playing, absolutely dominating on their side of the ball.
This is caught. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
They'll run it with Kamara. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Brandon, I know what I would do in this situation. You're on the road. It's the opening drive. You've gotten all the way down here. I would go for it.
And Lutz's kick is good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
And you know how they say it's not about the money? Sometimes it is about the money. Matt Ryan is going to average $30 million in salary per year now as one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL, and he more than deserves it. The NFL's MVP in 2016.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Offense.
So on the big tight end,
each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And the return will...
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point kicker. Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, you're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's Breeze. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he'll take this one down near the 15. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And for the second time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. Puts this one through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They come in as the 3 seed, and this will very likely the last home game of the season for them, even if they win this one. But while they wanted one of those top 2 spots, they're still in a pretty good position.
They are, and let's face it, any team that gets into the playoffs, as far as I'm concerned, they're in a good position because they're doing what the rest of the league wants. A lot of people are sitting at home watching them. But you made a good point. Everyone is vying for one of the top 2 spots. You get an opening, you get a week off, don't have to play that opening week, and then you get a chance to collect yourself and see how everything else falls. But all in all, number 3 spot, they'll take it and run with it.
Yeah, maybe they get a win here and get some momentum. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the shotgun, Ryan. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, Ryan. Caught on the right side by Jones. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a 1st down, too.
I know that's their first connection in this game, but you and I both know that Julio Jones is without a doubt his quarterback's favorite target.
Oh, yeah, Matt Ryan loves this guy, and who wouldn't?
Yeah, and the reason that he's that is because of his dependability. And quarterbacks have to have that from their receivers, meaning they know where they're going to be when they're running certain routes. They don't break them on them. They don't change them up and do their own freelance stuff and put their quarterbacks in bad situations. Matt Ryan has ultimate trust in Julio Jones.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. From the gun, Ryan. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. But it leads to a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Operating from the gun, Ryan. Flush to his right. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Matt Ryan, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Falcons are an extra point away from moving out in front. Now Matt Bryant on for the point after.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They just did manage to sneak into the playoffs as a 6th seed, so it's a tough road ahead. They would need to win 3 games on the road in January, but there's 20 other teams who wouldn't mind being on that road.
You're exactly right about that, but your point about how daunting this is well taken, because it all depends on their mindset now. How do you break it down so that you're not looking at this whole big road and say to yourself, we've got no shot? You break it down to this game right now, win that one, then worry about the rest of them after that.
And that's exactly right, and the staff told us that. They've been focusing with the players on don't look ahead, but that's hard to do sometimes, is it not?
It is hard to do because the ultimate goal is to do what? Is to win a Super Bowl. So you have to look ahead a little bit, but you make sure you focus on the game at hand.
At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Here's Breeze to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, congestion in the middle of the field makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Holding offense.
You can see this quite a bit on
Still
running
first down.
plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
From the gun, Ryan swings it out to the flat for Freeman. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Alex Okafor in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Now Ryan. Throw left side complete. It's Freeman. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On second down, here's Breeze. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Here's Breeze. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, Breeze again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can...
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Benjamin Watson from 4 yards out. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Ryan, and he's taken down here by the Saints. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Ginn. Able to avoid him at the 40. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Breeze. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Breeze now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down.
Ready, return.
The final shot before half for Breeze. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Time here in this NFC wildcard matchup as well. So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy's stone-faced wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And, we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, third quarter. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from me a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now a play fake here on first down. On the crossing route, complete. That's Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now Ryan on second down. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
On third down, Ryan. And the third down pass falls incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Ryan now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Ryan. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crowley. His guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Hey, you waiting?
So after the INT, it's Breeze. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A good pickup there at 22. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Vic Beasley in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Oh, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the 2nd person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, 2nd drive, not much better.
Gun.
To throw on 3rd down, Ryan. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
We're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here we go on 4th down with Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Running with Kamara. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the 2nd drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Ready.
They run it again with Kamara. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
To throw, it's Breeze. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Well, it's third and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 18. After the interception, here's Ryan. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Looking to throw on second down. Ryan. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Ready, yellow lady.
On second down, Kamara. He'll be stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't free him. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back now in Atlanta.
Here we go.
It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th.
Ready, ready.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Again, it's Kamara. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
And Lutz's kick is good. And now it's a two-score game at 9, 16-7. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a two-score game, his third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Matt Ryan and the offense heading back onto the field. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Yes. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Alex Okafor in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And down he'll go at the 25. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Falcons on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be third and forever.
20.
Play action. It's Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. They go play action now. Ryan looking downfield for Jones. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
Brooks Reed with a tackle. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Vic Beasley able to make the tackle.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And that is incomplete. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. This will be fielded at the 17. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now Ryan. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now a desperation throw deep down. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. This is brought in by Hardy. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
As we continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Throwing now is Ryan. Steps away to his left. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? 3rd and goal. Here's Ryan. And this is caught down for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So the drive there took 6 plays. So with just over a minute to play, this becomes a make or break onside kick. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And the Falcons going to use another timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. The Saints on 3rd down, not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. And here's a big one now. Try to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They run. It's Kamara. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Alvin Kamara unable to push past that yellow line. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. One last shot for Ryan. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And a disappointing way to close out the season. You got